Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Today I'm going to paint a Dragonborn from the Elder Scrolls Call to Arms from Modiphius. And as is standard for my channel, I'm going to be doing it as quickly as possible. As you can see, I have kept the miniature in two parts. The shield arm is separate, that's just going to make it easier to paint. And I have started with a Chaos Black spray, just to get a good base coat to work from. And I'm going to start by doing the skin, and I'm going to give that a coat of BUGMAN'S glow. It's slightly thinned down, so it will require two coats. And that's going to go over the arms, the face, the neck, and the legs. And of course, we have to remember to do the hand on the shield arm. Next, I'm switching to Zandri Dust, and I'm going to put that on all of the fur areas to get a nice light fur colour. I don't need to be too careful at this point because everything else is layered on top of the fur. So we'll neaten that up when we paint those other layers afterwards. You may be able to get away with one coat of Zandri Dust, but two coats will give you a good coverage. And then I'm going to put Reikland Fleshshade over the areas we've painted, and I don't need to be too neat about this. It doesn't matter if it gets slopped over the black areas. Those are going to get painted next anyway. So just a good coat over the fur and the flesh. And again, we have to remember to do the hand on the shield arm. Next, we're going to deal with the browns, and I'm going to start with Monster Brown, and I'm going to apply that to the leather armor straps over the top of the fur. We're also going to put that on the boots, and we're going to do the jerkin or vest with it as well. And if you don't use Army Painter paints, just any light brown will work for this. And then I'm switching to Leather Brown, again from Army Painter, but just a darker brown colour. And I'm going to apply that to the bandoliers, the chest plate, the shoulder pad, and the sheath for the sword. And also the bracers as well. Basically any other brown bits that are left. Next we're switching to Dawnstone, and I find that Dawnstone with an Agrax Earthshade wash over the top does a really good job of looking like a worn leather. So I'm going to apply that to the belt, but I'm also going to put it on any leather thongs, so the strapping on the boots and also the straps on the sheath. We need to be a bit neat at this point so as not to get it over all the browns that we've painted. Next we're switching to Leadbelcher, good old Leadbelcher, and we're going to paint most of the metal with that. So we're painting the blade of the sword, we're going to paint the helmet, we're going to paint the chest plate, the emblem on the shoulder on the pauldron, and also the studding on the leather belt. Just a good coat over everything. And then we're switching to Balthasar Gold, which is a nice coppery gold colour. And we're going to put that on the hilt of the sword. And we're also going to paint the shield with Balthasar Gold. Now the shield of this model is quite a focal point of it, and it's very intricate, but I haven't got the time or patience to do a really good job on painting all the intricate details. So I'm going to paint the whole thing with Balthasar Gold and then rely on dry brushing to make those details pop. Next we're switching to Rakarth Flesh, and we're going to put that on the horns for the helmet because I found that Rakarth Flesh with an Agrax Earthshade wash over the top does a pretty good job of looking like horn. I've done it on horns for things like poxwalkers and things like that in the past. And now of course Agrax Earthshade, and we're going to apply this over everything that didn't get a Reikland Fleshshade wash earlier. So It's going to go on the boots, it's going to go over all of the leather, it's going to go over the belt, it's going to go over the sword, the shield, the helmet. Just avoiding the fur and the skin. And I know this is quite a brown, dingy model, but that's the look I was going for. I didn't want him to have a lot of colour on him, I wanted him to have a sort of earthy, realistic look. And now we're switching to Liberator Gold, and I'm just going to dry brush over the shield, just to bring out those details to really make them pop. This is a very quick way of doing this. And I think it looks pretty good. Next we're going back to BUGMAN'S Glow, and I'm going to thin this down a lot, and I'm going to layer it over the raised muscle areas on the arms, and also on the chin, the face, the neck. And this is going to take a couple of coats just to build that colour back up, so we get some nice highlights on the muscles. And that's pretty much the miniature done, so we're just going to do the base, and I'm going to apply Screaming Skull to all the bones all over the base. And Screaming Skull has terrible coverage. It actually took me 3 coats to get good coverage over all of it. And then we're switching to Mournfang Brown, and we're just going to apply Mournfang Brown to the whole base. Once that's all dry, a coat of Agrax Earthshade over all of it, and then just a touching up of the rim of the base with Abaddon Black, and this miniature is basically done. It needs to be varnished, and then when the varnish is dry, I'm going to apply just a little bit of a winter flock to the base, just to give it a little bit of a grassy texture to it. And then that will be it. Like I say, this is not the brightest miniature, but I kind of wanted him to have a earthy, dirty feel to him. He is an adventurer, he's been out in the wilds. I didn't want lots of bright colours on him, so this is the option that I went for. Hopefully some people will find it interesting. But that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider pressing the like button. If you have really enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.